Hello, my name is Ilona and I'm going to do a recap of my Dutch video. I first started with that Macron actually lost the majority in the parliament. So that is such a shame, which means if he wants to push through certain policies, he will need support from the opposition to help him out. And I have this feeling that that's not going to work out very well for him. So I think this is a victory for France that they got rid of the majority for Macron in the parliament. I also saw that the Texas Republican Party had a manifest, something like that. It's a report of the permanent 2022 Platform and Resolutions Committee, which I thought was very interesting. There are so many themes they talk about and the way they look at things, and they're taking a stand. It's of course from the Republican Party. This is very interesting. I also saw something about United Nations. They wanted to withdraw from the United Nations and they want the United Nations off American soil. But the most important thing that is mentioned is under resolutions. Number 1, this is about November 2020. We believe that certain fraud has been committed and they actually are rejecting the results of November 22. And they do not accept Mr. B as president, which is very interesting. They're just mentioning that. So we'll have to wait and see what will come out of that. It's very interesting. And of course, Texas is a Republican state. The governor, Greg Abbott, is Republican. I assume that he was aware of this before they actually published this. Another thing, Fox News, I actually saw a clip I shared where they are talking about November 2020 as well and about the laptop. If the media were immediately honest about this, then people would probably have voted differently. They are not mentioning the machines and anything that goes on there, but this is a start. It's on Fox News. I had to laugh a little bit because the person talking is saying like, you should not believe the media and what they're saying. And I'm like, you're on the media. You do know that, Fox News. So I guess I shouldn't believe you either. I thought that was quite ironic, to be very honest. What I was actually looking for card readings to the Netherlands. We have the farmers are taking a stand Wednesday. They were supposed to go to The Hague, but they are now going to a different part in the Netherlands called the Veluwe. To be very honest, I think that that's better because in The Hague there is still a lot of dark energies there, and I do believe that they would try the dark energies at least to escalate things. There would probably be some groups, some from the police standing there to take care of things, so to speak. And I have a feeling, because it's now in a different part in the Netherlands, that that's not going to happen that easily. They will try to escalate things, but it will be more difficult. I do believe that in The Hague, they would have more control. So I think that that's actually a good thing that they're doing it somewhere else. And it's also a signal to The Hague that from the farmers, like, we're going to follow our plan. We're going to leave you out of it. We're going to follow our plan. So I see that as a good signal to The Hague, like, you know what, we're going to do our own thing. What I also found interesting in Rotterdam, there was also a march climate against climate this weekend. Very interesting. I'm sure it had nothing to do with the fact that the farmers are taking a stand Wednesday. Very much a coincidence, obviously, but they also showed a lot of, against what the farmers are standing for. The farmers are, of course, fighting against the nitrogen policy that our Minister Van der Waal came with. It's really just insane. If you just think about it, we are the only country in Europe and in the world, apparently, that has this problem. Countries around us do not have this. So this is very, very strange. And it's very obvious that this is just a ploy to gain control, get rid of the farmers. to build different things on their grounds. They really want to make sure they get rid of the farmers, but I also believe to make sure that they have control of our food. They want to create these food hubs, and of course if the farmers are gone, they have full control over the food. So there are more things happening here, but people are seeing right through this. So I don't think that will happen, but of course they roll out their agenda and people are now fighting back. So thought that was interesting in Rotterdam, that there weren't as many people as they were expecting. I thought it was very interesting. I saw an article about that. So I think a lot more people are how to say that, understanding that the thing that's going on with the climate, all those things they come out with, is just part of the agenda to take over control, and really is just a lot of nonsense. So I'm glad to actually read an article that there weren't that many people. So I actually did a card reading on Wednesday when the farmers are getting together. I have a feeling it's going to be way bigger than just farmers. There are a lot of groups of people here in the Netherlands very dissatisfied with what's going on in The Hague and really what the government is doing to the Netherlands. So these are the cards I got. The first card is the Star. That's the card above. The central card is the Emperor. For the past, we have Justice. Underneath the central card, we have the Sun. And for the near future, the future after, of course, after Wednesday, we have the Eight of Swords and we have the Three of Wands. That's very interesting to me. But first of all, we have 4 major arcana cards. So this is very important. I do believe that this standing up will be very important. And there will be protection. It will be like a new impulse for people to get together. I do believe and I do feel that it's very important that people take a stand, and that's getting together. The Emperor is ready to fight. He's ready to really take a stand and to say enough is enough. And I think that's the most important part here Wednesday, that people are really saying enough is enough. So I think a lot more groups will be present, a lot more people will be present than just farmers. I think that will be the start. And I believe that it's very important for people to getting together and to really start making a plan, like we're not going to follow what they are talking about in The Hague. I also saw an article about provinces, it's called the Netherlands, the Provinciale Staten. One in Zeeland actually is against the nitrogen policy, and they were like, well, we're not going to do anything with this, and actually saying no to the government policy. And I think that's a really clear sign that, you know, this is they're not going to push this through. This is not going to happen. But it's very important to wake up people, and people are finally taking a stand. That's what this is about to me. And there is a lot of protection going on. Wouldn't surprise me if there was protection from other spiritual dimensions as well, that this will be protected. They will try to create some chaos. I'm sure they try to escalate things. So people have to be aware of that the dark energies want to make the farmers look as awful as possible. They want that because they want to swing the public opinion against the farmers. That's really their intention, hoping that that will break what's going on right now, but it's not going to happen because really they're ready. So let's see for the near future, of course, it will not immediately will look like a lot of things will change, but people will wake up. Like I've said, there are a lot of very unhappy people right now with all the prices for food, for energy, for fuel. It's really insane if you think about this. So a lot of people are very dissatisfied. I think it will bring a lot of people together. And it will be a wait and see what's going to happen next. But I see this as a new impulse. Things will change. People will look at things differently. And I think it will be a connection between people, that more and more action will come out of it. And more people are prepared to do things. So I think that it's going to change that. Very important. After that, I looked at Belgium, because right now there is an action going on as well. It's from the trade unions. There are 3 trade unions right now in Brussels. They are against what's going on, the policies, because there's barely any money left for people. And the trade unions are ACV, ACLVB, and ABVV. There are more people actually joining in. The security personnel on from the airport, Saventem, are joining them. Some public transportations are joining them as well. So this is again a united front against what's going on in the government of Belgium. Very interesting. Well, the first card there is the 5 of Pentacles. The second card, the central card, is the 6 of Swords. For the past, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Underneath the central card, we have the Knight of Wands. And for the near future, we have the 4 of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. So to me, this feels like a lot of people feel like they're out in the cold, financial troubles. People have problems, just making it through the month. And they are very dissatisfied as well. Of course, everywhere around the world, the dark energies are trying to destroy the economy of the countries so they can, roll out this agenda they have in mind. It's not going to happen, but they're still trying to. This is about waking up people. This is about people standing up. They're feeling left out in the cold, getting together, and they're moving towards a new direction. They don't know where they're going to go to, but they're on their way. So I do believe this is like what's going to happen Wednesday here in the Netherlands. I think this is about connecting, people getting together. We have 3 trade unions and more people joining in, and that's so important, that people know that they're not by themselves. And this will spark up a new energy to connect, to start taking action, start taking a stand. So important. That's the Knight of Wands. Of course, there's some white influences there as well from white hats, but this is about the spark people need to get going, to not accept things anymore. There's not going to be an immediate result. I do believe that things will change because of it. It's like you put something into the energy and it will start creating things. It's very important that maybe not immediately you will see results, but ultimately things will happen because of what's going on now. It's like what's going on today in Brussels, and what will happen on Wednesday here in the Netherlands. It has an effect on people. So people are trying, at least the people from the dark energy are still trying to hold on to what they've got. They are trying to hold on to this power, but more and more things will come out, more truths will come out. So people will be more open, starting to realize what's really going on. So this will have an effect of waking up people looking at it differently, and this is about connecting. So I do believe that this is going to be an important week for the Netherlands and for Belgium by doing this, by getting together, by taking a stand. I'd like to leave it at this, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.